So as you guys can see, I'm not in Dubai, I'm in the UK, not quite vertically from over there, but so I'm here today as we're hosting a site day for our Mastermind members. We're taking around 2 HMO projects in Rugby, so this is West Midlands. We're quickly meeting up in this place to quickly do some intros before we head over to the site. So we're gonna meet everyone and we'll take you around to the projects. I brought a son with me. So while we're here, I will be in Europe. So Dubai's got too hot now, so I'll be spending time in Italy and UK, depending on where I need to be. I'll fly in as and when required in the UK. So morning. I guess you guys are catering us, looking after us for the time we're here. I'm Alfred.
Nice to meet you, Sophie.
Nice to meet you. Sophie, nice to meet you. All right, so
Show you
cool.
where you are today. We're just waiting for Ray.
Real Property Ventures meeting. I'm usually good at names, and I have kind of created a personal relationship a lot with these guys here. So
purchase your tracks today.
obviously you guys have met Ray, so Ray's obviously been on the calls with us, and Ray normally conducts the site days. So we're gonna head over to the 8-bedroom HMO. That's our first site tour we're doing. And then yeah, so we just arrived on site and we should take the guys through this 8-bedroom HMO. It looks small from the outside, right? But when you get inside, see how large the building is. Actually a very, very big building to be able to accommodate 8 rooms. Pretty much internally, we're just a L-shaped dome on the top of the roof, but we'll go through and kind of show you guys how this has been transformed as well. Yeah, just a little bit on the corner on the right, the dormer.
What's dormer?
So basically the external feature, the plastic cladding like the feature you got, can you see the pipe?
Yeah.
Works out of being run on the side.
Right.
So he's built that whole structure to create a room on the top. And this was saying he could have maybe gone for free, so bringing it all the way up to this edge. But to do that, then you can see it from the side, and that's why he's like that will probably go against the planning, and they would probably try and object to him building all the way out to this bit. Because the roof is perfect. Literally, could have literally run all the way onto the end and created 3 rooms, like you were saying, on the loft floor, or 2 really large studio type rooms. But this house, he's trying to just keep simple.
Seen means seen from where? Like from
This is the road ending. So that's the main road. It was the main road, but the main. There's an adjacent road which you can see that structure, and this kind of one I like. So if you look at every house has a normal shaped roof. This would be like literally a box structure on top of this whole entire, It looks different to everything else, and it would maintain the street view, so they don't want that. What we're trying to do with these side days is to give you an insight to what to look out for. You're not going to know every single inch of it until you kind of get into it yourself, unfortunately, because that's when the real learning begins. But for example, the point we made of like when you do the back to brick conversion, so the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks is usually the roof out. You're ripping out the house to find out what's behind the walls. Is it cracks in the brickwork that needs to be fixed before they plaster the walls again? These are the things you're trying to find out and work out if your costs are going to maintain, because there can't really be a driving cost after the 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Once you expose the walls, you know exactly what's happening afterwards. The first few weeks are kind of just hoping that nothing's kind of show up when you open up the walls. And once you get through that, you're like, oh, amazing. That needs replacing. Yeah, so the ones that have been exposed, so you can see the moisture between the glasses. That shouldn't be happening. Yeah, condensation shouldn't be happening between the two glasses. But generally speaking, what would happen is they would replace the whole glass structure and the whole seals. They wouldn't just replace the glass. The benefits of having larger houses, right? That ceiling's been dropped massively to allow you to have 2 loft rooms, and more importantly, to maximize the floor space. There's literally 2 rooms above us right now. So this is why I love the large Victorian houses, because you have way more playroom to be able to get more out of your property versus the smaller properties where, yeah, you can pay a lot less to get those properties, but you're now trying to cram rooms in. And for me, that's not like the best type of property to acquire. You want the larger property where possible to create bigger rooms, to increase rent over a period of time. It's literally going to be 4 rooms. So it might seem crazy now, but it's going to be literally 4 rooms, 1 in the back there, 1 kind of blended between here and there, and then 1 in this section and another 1 behind you. So great space. And they'll show you the one on the loft, quickly look at as well.
Yeah. I'm not as worried about that.
Yes,
Mine is more like the material.
No, so the materials, that's kind of I've never like gone and like learned even these foams. I couldn't even tell you what the definition of these, like, I couldn't tell you. So the builders will these are like mandatory and like very standard for building works. So the builders will dictate what these things are. So these aren't necessarily the specifications I'm talking about. That won't change. All right, cool. Let's head to the other side, guys. Let's try and catch up with the schedule. Actually, I don't think there's no saving this, but. So we're off to the next site. This is a 14-bed commercial place. It used to be a fish shop, so one of these fish tank type shops. Commercial building where Ray is now converting into a 14-bed HMO, which is very, very interesting. This will be then leased out to supported living, which you guys probably know I'm not the biggest fan of, but again, we'll talk about a bit more of that. But keen to hear why Ray's made that decision with that particular property. So let's make our way. So we're going to this commercial property at the moment where Ray is converting this house into a 14-bed HMO. From the outside, you probably won't think it's that huge. And this is why I talk about when you're getting property, it's not about buying a property, it's actually about the land you're getting and what you can do with that land. And you're going to see how this is being developed into a large HMO. You can even see from the if you look at the bottom, you can see it's leaning. It's leaning.
The whole building is like
This is like, I don't know. I kind of want to get out of here. I don't know how to secure this site.
Yeah. But basically, we're going to remove the entire roof. We're going to build up timber frames all the way so that the ridge is going to sort of like match the front elevation of the ridge. So they're all going to be elevated much higher. And then we're going to build up a flat roof section on this face of the building.
The idea here is you can just go in and say, I want to convert this dead space into a livable space, which is going to house X amount of people, blah, blah, blah. And so the planners will definitely look at it favourably as long as the amenities and everything's been supported for the number of people you're looking to put in.
You're not worried, was there never a risk that you wouldn't get planning?
There's always a risk.
There's always a risk. There's always a risk. It's a gamble.
Yeah.
It's a calculated gamble. And I think the worst case scenario was we may not get 14 units. We might have to settle for less, maybe 12 or something like that.
Purchase your tracks today.
We just wrapped up on the commercial building, which was to convert that into a 14-bed HMO, which would then be passed on to supported living. Obviously, you can see that building, pretty much a lot of the stuff in there needs to pretty much be gutted out and start again. Very old dated property, and there's a lot of hoops to jump through in terms of planning to actually get the 14-bed approved. But I think Ray's confident that they're pretty much 95% of the way there, and just a little bit of blocks kind of overcome, and then they're good to go and fully develop that. So now we're going to have some lunch and then do a Q&A session with the guys, just to talk a bit more in depth on how we acquired it, what the plan is, just a bit more on the numbers as well, and kind of just any Q&A generally for converting these houses or commercial buildings into HMOs. I think it's been all right. We're kind of on schedule. I think maybe 20 minutes behind schedule. That's good. It could have easily been an hour. I think this is the bit where we might overrun completely, but we've got to be out of here by 3. But we're going to try and maybe simultaneously have lunch and do Q&A this way. Yes. Quick lunch break. I'm kind of still okay from breakfast in the morning, so I don't know if I'm going to eat. I'll probably get something on the way from the airport. What have we got? Butter chicken slider, garlic. So obviously, yeah, the more calls you join at the beginning stage to get the ball rolling, the better. And then once you're in the midst of doing the deals, usually what happens is you will come and ask nuanced questions around what's happening in your current project, dealing with neighbours or handling, I don't know, negotiating a deal, getting offer accepted, whatever it is. So that's what generally happens.
It's a very good question.
Yeah.
It's about my deal. So the house is unencumbered. I made the offer.
Okay.
We're reaching the end. I'm now in the application with the bridging. It's all going smoothly.
Okay.
But I'm now really coming to terms with how much bridging is.
Yes.
And I want to ask for exchange delay completion. But I'm thinking, how do I position it in a way that they don't feel like I'm sort of like screwing them over? If that makes sense.
It's basically like when you're trying to get them to do what you want, right?
Yeah.
And it's like every seller wants a price for their property that they think is valuable to them.
Yeah.
It's like, how can we get them to say yes to the price that they want, but our terms? So your terms being, let's exchange delay completion,
Yeah.
and they get the price and outcome they want. So obviously, you can bridge, like I said, you come to terms it's expensive. You can pay half that interest that you'd normally pay on top of the purchase price. And that might, again, that's if they're not needing the money. And it's all circumstance. The whole unencumbered thing and like being able to give them their price if they're not in a rush to get their money. Because if you say to them, I can give you 30k more, but in 2 years' time, they're like, I would rather just sell it for 30k less and walk away now, right?
Yeah.
So it's got to make sense for them as well in terms of timing and how long you think it will take for you to be able to complete the purchase and pay them out so they can get their money back. All right, guys, so that's the wrap of the site day. We went to 2 projects, 2 amazing projects, with one being a 8-bedroom HMO and one being a 14-bed HMO. And we've done a very extensive long Q&A session at the end, just kind of covering every single thing, the details, the numbers, ROIs, how we're kind of mitigating the risk with these type of deals as well. So very insightful day. Obviously, I always say, like, if you're interested in working with myself, feel free to book in a call with myself and the team to see how it can be of help. Guys, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.